Well, fancy meeting you guys here again. Welcome to the Whitfield Report late night stream, everyone. And just to prove that this is in fact beers with Sammy, the Savage, I'm drinking Fat Tire this evening, and I'm doing this stream from my new iPad. So I'm holding my iPad with one hand and holding my beer in the next one. So I don't really know why I decided to do this second stream, but I saw that Neri wasn't doing his stream, um, so I decided, what the heck? I I did a really crappy show on Saturday, so you guys deserve 20 minutes of a good show, which you got this afternoon from my phone, and now I'm doing the second one, so. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's like 11:30 at night here, but hey, it's the summer, and it's Tuesday, and I'll probably go to bed after this stream, so. Although when, I don't really know if and when I'll sleep. I mean, I wound up staying up until like 4:30 a.m. in the danger zone last night, and then I got up at 9 uh, this morning. So, but that's what happens. Anyway, do you guys have any questions for me? I was thinking of freestyling this one more. What up, Syria? What's going on? So yeah, I I was going to get like one of those covers for my iPad that turns into a stand, but I had one for my old iPad, and it fell apart on me within like 6 months, and it was the official Apple one. Um, so I spent like $40 on it. Or no, I didn't get it, but I got it for Christmas, and but still, I looked up the price of them, and they're not cheap by any means necessary. So anyway, what's going on with you guys in the chat? I know we only have 3 people watching right now, but hey, Critter, welcome to the Savage Sam Late Night Room, brought to you by the Danger Zone and by New Belgium Fat Tire, the official bear of the Whitfield Report. Just kidding. It's satire. But not that I have enough viewers to even get a sponsorship, but anyway. So I was going to, yeah. No, Critter, I'm in the same boat. I should be asleep as well, but here I am. Yeah, Syrio. Well, you know, I don't have a cult behind me. You know, willing to throw money my way. For terrible jokes I tell. I don't have that. behind me yet. Um, so, and I don't want to start a cult either. I mean, honestly, even if I were to get famous, and I well, I don't know this for sure, but I would like to think that if I were to like make it big, my eventual plan is to make it big and to make this podcast big. Um, I'd like to think that I would still be the same guy that I am today. Um, I think the whole attitude of fame is overrated. I think it does change people. Um, but I also think that it can be revealing in some ways. I think sometimes your true personality actually comes out when you have fame, and then maybe when you lose it. Um, well, thanks, Critter. Yeah, though, I, I don't, I don't actually know though, because I mean, as I like to say, you've heard of C-list celebrities, right? Well, I'm a D-list celebrity. I'm famous in small circles on the internet, and in certain, conservative blogospheres or whatever. Um, and I mean, I've had the opportunity to, potentially have jobs that could have turned into, um, big deals. And I'm not saying that as like, a thing trying to brag, um, but I'll just say that when I was younger, when I was a teenager, there were a couple of, you know, there were a couple people with CPAC and whatnot who had reached out to me via email and whatnot. They saw that I was a young conservative, and they wanted to you know, publicize me and get me a speaking gig deal. And I'm not gonna lie and say that wasn't interested, but also my parents were kind of like, well, hell no, you still have to get through high school, and also I was working on, my Boy Scout merit badges and working to become an Eagle Scout. And I'm glad I did that. I do know that there have been some younger conservatives out there like Jonathan Crone and C.J. Pearson who did speak at CPAC when they were in high school. And in the case of Jonathan Crone, he's pretty infamous now because he was the quote unquote conservative wonder kid who got on Fox News at age 14, and then once he got to college, he pretty much, folded and ended up becoming a liberal. And I think now he actually writes at HuffPo. Um, Same thing with, CJ Pearson is still in high school, and he's a few years younger than I am. I wrote a piece about him, and CJ's a good kid, but he got involved in like a scam where his agent, quote unquote, was scamming his fans, and I guess the part of the problem is, I'd like to say that CJ was innocent, but apparently he knew that it was still happening. Someone kind of let it go on. So, at any rate, I mean, like I said, he's still a good kid, and I wish him best. But my point being is, I think with people like, you know, Jonathan Crone or C.J. Pearson or Tommy Lahren, or even now as we're seeing with Candace Owens, I think sometimes, um, they're not ready for the fame, and kind of hits them, and they get thrusted into positions of power, or the public trust, or whatever, and then they say things, that are a little fuzzy. So I've actually written a whole bunch of columns about that on my website. All right, Critter, I'll probably still be back when you get back. So, let's see. So, I guess this would be a good time to do an AMA and open this up to the folks at home. So, is there anything... Oh, that's cool. I can change the effects on. Change the... that's cool. No, I can make... Oh, that's actually cool. I can do a documentary type of... Okay, I'm done playing with the filters on this. I actually kind of like this one. Anyway, so yeah, feel free to ask me anything. If I were as talented as Neri, I would play the piano. But I'm not talented musically. The one thing I am talented on, I can't live stream it, unfortunately, but the one thing I am good at is drawing. And I've actually found out recently that I'm pretty good at that. I just got one of those Apple pencils, and I got this painting slash sketching app called Procreate, which is pretty neat. And I've actually done a couple landscape paintings, and they're pretty good if I do say so myself. So maybe I'll have to upload those to my Instagram one of these days. All right. So what else is going on in the world? I covered the Anthony Bourdain thing earlier. So, I will share it on Twitter maybe. Twitter is probably actually where I'll post a lot of this stuff. I'll probably post some stuff on Instagram too, but the only problem with Instagram is that if you post stuff on Instagram, it has to be like in that square, like, it has to be square because of how Instagram is formatted. And so, if you do like a full-on landscape, painting like I do, I have a 9.7 iPad. So I have like it's not a huge canvas to work on, but yeah, Critter, if you don't, it's my Instagram, by the way, folks, for those of you who aren't following me, my Instagram and my Twitter are both at @samdibber_NDC. You can also find me pretty easily on Facebook, like the Whitfield Report on Facebook. Obviously, subscribe to this channel if you aren't already. Although I think the 3 people watching here are already subscribed, so, that's no biggie. Um, mm, I mean, creator, when you're saying you have to do Facebook, do you mean like friend me on Facebook or get a Facebook account in general? Because if you don't have if you don't have a Facebook account at this point, you're actually oh, okay. What I was gonna say is if you don't have a Facebook account, then you know you don't really need one at this point. But if you do, then feel free to add me. So yeah, Facebook is one of those really weird networks. I personally feel like when I got my Facebook, I got it like 10 years ago when it was basically Facebook or Twitter, but also uh, Facebook was a lot simpler to use back then as well. I remember back then the app was actually like semi able to work, and you know, and you could actually like set up your page and not have it be censored or anything. It was awesome. I mean, and it was a lot simpler to use. Now, Facebook has become like this whole thing where they're trying to do YouTube live streaming, and you know, they're trying to do Snapchat and Instagram and everything rolled into one, and it's too much. Um, you like Twitter? Well, let me say this. I like Twitter better for promoting my podcast and like for promoting, these kind of after hour live streams and whatnot. But as far as like socialization, I actually do like Facebook better. And I know that seems weird because people get in just as many Facebook, fights as they do on Twitter, but I think Facebook arguments aren't as bad as they are on Twitter. At least for me, they've never been. And part of that is because on Facebook, there's virtually no character limit. So even if you need to write out like a long post, um, you still can. Whereas Twitter, I know they improved the character limit, but it's still only 250. So I don't socialize much on Twitter anymore. I still, I mean, like with you guys, and like with people I actually kind of know, like yeah, obviously, but people like try and troll me or whatever. Like I don't I don't actually interact. I'm mainly on there just to promote my stuff. Like my blog posts, and also uh, I signed up for this service like a couple of years ago, which basically it creates like a newsletter out of curated news sources that you pick. So I started that like a couple of years ago. It's nothing I it's nothing I created except for the fact that I like curated a whole bunch of other conservative websites. So oh yeah, sorry, Jeff. I think you might have missed the part when I said that I just got this new iPad last week, and I don't. As soon as I do, I'll switch hands, so I'm not covering the camera. Okay. Let's see. Okay, and we're back. I think. Night Twitter. No, Jeff. Uh, my internet connection crapped out because a plane went overhead, and that. By the way, as I mentioned at the beginning, this stream is brought to you by Fat Tire by New Belgium, which is actually not brewed in New Belgium. It's brewed in Fort Collins, Colorado, which is where I'm from. Well, I'm from Denver, but you know, I do have friends and relatives from Fort Collins, so um, by the way, if Trump legalizes marijuana federally, oh crap. We we froze again. At least the okay, are we back? I think we're back. Uh yep, no, don't panic folks. We're back. No, it wasn't my crappy internet that time. It was my internet. My internet is actually pretty good. It's Verizon Fios. I guess the Google gods don't want me doing this live streaming because the YouTube app conveniently crashed in the midst of my stream. Somehow, though, I was able to get this back. So the stream has had full of surprises. I will say that. Um, yeah, yeah, Bish, that's good. Okay, now it's saying I have no viewers whatsoever, but Bisque just commented. Okay, now it's saying I have two. So I have two viewers and 4 likes, which is fair. You know, it's kind of a light stream. And so welcome to the band of Sam Savages, Bisque. I don't know what we're calling it. Neary was the one who actually came up with the Sam's Savages term. So uh, I guess that's kind of I don't want to make that's kind of like the new substitute for that cult which shall not be named. But anyway, uh, yeah. So uh, Bisque, I know you've been around on some of the streams, but I haven't really. I've seen you around, but are you an ex cult member, or did you just find the DZ by uh acc- accident? By the way, welcome to the mod squad too. Um, Also, Critter, if you're still watching, which okay, I lurked and found you guys because of Yuri. Well, you know that explains things. I'm pretty sure Neri might be lurking here too. For all I know, he's kind of a lurky guy himself. So I am back, Wylan, and apologies to you. Uh, yeah, then I mistook you for a troll. Um, because of the whole Wylan thing. My apologies to Wylan. I thought she I thought she was Chuck. Um, because Chuck is kind of the one who stole the whole Wyland thing from Nimmer, and I guess I was doing my last stream when he was doing his on Fallout 4 or whatnot. So no, I know that, Bisk. So like I said, apologies to Lynn, and welcome to the Savages, um, both of you. So also if you well, I would say if you're interested, check out the Danger Zone YouTube channel. I think we I think that channel got banned from YouTube if I'm not mistaken. No, I mean, Bisk, you're pretty good. You know, we're pretty good with jokes around here. As long as it's clear that they're jokes, okay? Um, as long as it's clear that they're jokes and not, racial epithets, you know, severely racist racial epithets masquerading as jokes. Um, or comments about someone's disability. Yeah. Um, yeah, as long as it's pretty clear that it's a joke and you know, not someone's snide, anger issues masquerading as jokes, then we should be good. Let's see. DZ put in timeout. Yeah, well, you know, I, I talked to Brian about this. He should try and I think it was either him or Josh I was talking to the other night about this. They should try and get that ban appealed. That strike or whatever that disabled the live streaming capability. But then again, I know that YouTube is just like the bring the dirt here. Well, I should, but yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing that, but then they would probably go after my channel too. And of course, I could always do it on my other channel too, which already has 100 subscribers. And this channel I mainly use for my podcast and after hours streams like this one. So my only concern is if I bring the DZ here, then the Bears might trying to get this channel banned, and you know seeing as how I criticize their leader Owen Benjamin, peace be upon him, um, you know that might actually happen. So, but at the same time, I don't know. Uh, so let's see. Oh no, Lynn. The Bears have given me grief. Oh yeah, they gave me plenty of grief on Twitter over leaving. Uh, I don't know if you know this, when, but I'm in a wheelchair myself. I'm pretty upfront about that. Uh, Neri calls me the most dangerous man on two wheels, and I'd like to think I am. But anyway, so when Owen made those puns, um, because they weren't jokes at all. Let's be real. When he made those remarks about that, uh, this wheelchair bound comedian about a month ago, um, that was it for me. And to be fair, I was already kind of at the jumping off point with the Bears, but I was still but I was still willing to kind of give the Bears the benefit of the doubt at that point. I was still fitting on the I was still kind of sitting on the fence, and I kind of thought, well, I could let the Nimmer stuff go, but then the whole thing with Canna happened, and basically a whole bunch of stuff escalated, and you know, like pretty much the wheelchair thing was like the last straw. The reason why the Bears are pissed at me is because I basically tweeted Owen's remark that he made to Ben Shapiro and to Joe Rogan and to JBP. So they basically called me a social justice warrior after that and said that I was only offended because of my disability, which, you know, you're damn right. I was offended. But I wasn't offended just because of my disability. I was offended because even though I don't believe in political correctness, I still believe in decency, in discourse. I believe that fighting against political correctness is about the exchange of ideas and not saying, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that under the federal government and whatnot, right, hate speech is protected, and I think it should be. But as far as the free speech wars go, that's the point. Isn't that we should say anything that we want? I mean, the good thing is we can under the system of government, but that's not what the fight against political correctness is. It's about the free flow of ideas. And as I mentioned before, shouting racial epithets is not having a constructive debate about the big issues of the day. I'm sorry, it isn't. You know, I really did respect Owen when he was asking like, you know, well, maybe we should slow the brakes on accepting this whole transgendered kids thing. Maybe we should take like a second look at that. That was something I could really get behind. That's something that matters. That's a conversation that we could talk about for a long time. That's the Ellen Benjamin I like. But the guy who uh, shouts the N word 50,000 times, you know, on one single stream just because he can. Yeah, that's not the guy I signed up to see. So, hey, Kat and Gabe are both here, and Jeff's right. Now it is a party. So we now have my favorite senorita here, and Gabe. So yeah, Bisk, you're right. The novelty of the word does wear off after a while. Well, and the other thing of it is okay. I get the whole Punch Out with Mike Tyson thing, right? I get Owen. I got Owen's joke because it was an inside joke, among the Bears. But that's never a joke that I would try in public, you know, or else I would get my ass kicked, and rightly so. That's the problem. Is like a lot of Owen's jokes seem to work with the Bears because they're directed at the Bears, right? But you try doing the whole that N word stole my bike in front of like the GOP fundraising dinner. Like I'm just making up like a random event. But if you try and do that joke, um, around non-bears, it's not gonna work. So yeah, and you know, I mean, let me just say this too. In terms of shock comedians, there are ones who are a lot better out there. Like, I know he's dead now, but I've been listening to a lot of the old albums of Sam Kinison. Uh, you want to talk about shock comedians? Sam Kinison was on fire. Yeah, I know, Jen. It is boring, but you know, let's see. It kind of reminds me of the same uh, opening act we kept seeing. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. So, yeah. Well, you know, it is what it is. Now, as far as other comedians who I want to talk about, let's talk about Nick DiPaolo. Uh, he keeps saying that he's going to have a podcast, and I know he's working on getting stuff set up. Uh, I guess he just got his studio completed, so he's going to do the podcast. But I keep checking his Twitter, anxiously awaiting for his return date. And Nick, if you're watching this, which I doubt you are, because we know that I'm certainly not. You know, I think Nick is a little too high profile to even really care about me. But you know, if you are watching Nick, I hope you'll keep your podcast subscription pricing relatively affordable. I don't need to pay $99 a year for any podcast. Um, ideally he'll do what Rogan does and keep it free, but I doubt that's going to happen. Nevertheless, though, I am excited for Nick's new podcast. That's uh, that's entertaining. So, let's see. No comment from Jen. Let's see. No comment about what I was just. What's boring? Not. Oh yeah. No, I mean I don't really have a comment. I guess I'm with Jen. I mean I watched a couple of those and they were pretty good, but I never got notifications for those, or I was already in class or on my way to the bus stop to head to class when he was doing those. So I never really watched him. Uh, so I uh, I did watch see. Have you guys seen the H3 podcast? No, I haven't. When the one I've been listening to a lot lately is the Dennis Miller the Dennis Miller option. So um, on podcast one, that's an audio only podcast for right now, but it's well, you have to be a Dennis Miller fan to kind of appreciate it, I guess, which I am, and I also know the co-host on there who's going to be a guest on the podcast either this week or next week. So hopefully it's this week, but I don't know for sure. So let's see it. Okay, let's see if I can prop up my iPad here without it. Okay. No, but it wants to slide. I'll have to check out this H3 podcast. So yeah, I just found Joey Diaz's solo podcast, The Church of What's Happening. So Joey Diaz is hilarious. So and as always, speaking of podcasts, obviously you can subscribe to my channel here, and please hit the notification bell for doing that. But you can also subscribe to the Whitfield Report on Apple Podcasts and Google Play and all of those good platforms as well. And for those of you listening to this on the audio podcast, I'm sorry that the last 40 minutes have been boring as hell for you because you've only been hearing one side of the comment. You've only been hearing my side, but for those of you listening to the audio podcast version of this, the people have been basically chatting, and I've been responding to their comments. So that's why you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Vice versa, though, with the audio podcast. There are actually some days when I post audio exclusive podcasts for the good people who are listening on Apple Podcasts. No, Alana, you're not at the end of this one. You're actually kind of in the middle of it, I guess. So I'm just taking questions. Well, hello there to you too, Christy Blissful. So everybody, let's go. Elena is here. Yeah, no, I know I like Elena. So uh, so I to be honest though, I think my best podcast, well, two of the best podcasts I've done to date were John was my podcast with John. That was fun. And my podcast with my friend Ryan Marhofer, who Jen Loki had a crush on. So let's see. Why thank you, Meth Farmer. I am a handsome white boy, and you're damn right about that. So also, again, this podcast is partly sponsored by Fat Tire. Not really, but I just like to pretend. And for those wondering, I'm only on one. Why? Because I would still like to think clearly after this. Is that there a stout? No, it's it's Belgian style ale, which is not a stout. Um, Although if you know me, I like my favorite I guess beer slash ale slash stout of all time is Guinness. So now this would be a good love story. I'm not really sure. Okay, I'm not judging you. You curious shy sideshow freak. Okay, yeah. Now I'm reading the comments. Coconut porter is my favorite. Nah, never. I've never had that. For the guys for the guys in the stream. Uh, sorry. So let's see. If you like stouts, try our founder's breakfast stouts. Um, I actually had that. I can't remember where I had that, but I know for a fact I have had that. I figured her for a small chocolate type drink. Nah, let's see. Well, well, well. Gabe is kind of a beer expert. Um, I like my simple vodka soda. Yeah, I can't do vodka. I really can't really do hard liquor of any kind. I think rum and coke is like the one drink that I like. Other than that, though, I really don't like drinks. Um, I mean, I like beer and I like wine. Um, but as far as like I guess drinks go, I like gin and tonic on occasion. I like margaritas on occasion if they're really well done, if they're homemade basically with Mexican food. But yeah, I'm not one of these like hardcore like scotch or whiskey drinkers. Basically, anything that people drink to get drunk with, explicitly like God forbid moonshine. Someone actually invited me to do that once, and I said, "Yeah, no, I can't." So, but, vodka and LaCroix. Well, Jen, here's the thing. I don't like LaCroix as is. Let's see. Ah, Jeff is Jeff is doing Budweiser. Is doing Budweiser. Yeah, that's good as always. Uh, I've got to scroll through the comments now. Okay. Never try 1050s stout. Tastes like pure soy sauce. Well, I like soy sauce, but not that. Oh yeah, Miller High Life, Jeff. Yeah, I like Miller High Life. My stepdad is a big fan of Miller High Life, and so because of that, we always have Miller in the house. So mostly. Um, I thought about starting a beer podcast. Actually, at one point, someone asked me to do one, but they were going to co-host it with me, and then they backed out. So, and what am I going to do on an audio podcast about beers without a host? Strawberry Berry Hill took my you will co-host that in a heartbeat. Yeah, Jeff. Well, hit me up in the DZ chat, and we can collaborate on something. The problem is that there are a bunch of them. So, but okay, yeah. What? Oh yeah. Now I see people see now everyone wants to co-host a beer podcast, but we all know that's just an excuse to drink on stream. So let's see. The goddamn Loch Ness monster sells it. Speaking of Loch Ness monsters, where has our Loch Ness monster been? I know that he's been going through some, family situations lately, but I miss Gary. I miss Gary Guitar. I I wish him. I wish you were here. I also miss Mr. Canna. So, and I know he changed his avatar, but he will still always be Cannabear to me. I don't care what anyone says. He will always be cute and cuddly Cannabear with that avatar of his. Which even if he got rid of it, I saved it because I think it's like a cute Winnie the Pooh type drawing. But anyway, yeah, I miss those two. Uh, Can I have been in contact with, but he I miss Tree. That dude really is. Oh, Jeff, that's hilarious. Yeah, well, Chewie had to go back to Kashyyyk, Jeff. So, you know, Chewie had to go back to Kashyyyk to find Itchy and Lumpy. So, uh, and for people who don't know what I'm referencing, Google the Star Wars Holiday Special. So, I also know that Joy and I were thinking of doing a Star Wars podcast at one point. Although now I'm wondering what we would talk about if we were to do that. Whoa, that's interesting. I just found out I could do a close up. That is weird. Okay, scooting back. Okay, yeah. I just hit like one button on here and it just zoomed up like super close into my face. I mean, I love looking at myself, but not that much. Let's see. This looks more voyeur. Um, no comment. No comment. Nah. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I miss Tree though too. I miss that podcast bear guy. He was awesome. Podcast bear was pretty awesome. He you know, not many of the other bears appreciated him, but then he moved to the danger zone and became the most savage man on two wheels. So that's what happened with that. Okay, 9 likes for 9 viewers. That's pretty good. So, the the danger zone does appreciate the artist formerly known as podcast bear. That's the other thing I want to start doing is like start doing like the artist formerly known as, or and then fill in your bear name or something. I think that's how I'm going to announce myself in the DZ. So, uh, Farmer, I hate to break it to you, dude, but you know, I know you think I'm attractive, but I only have eyes for the I only have eyes for you know, the female contingent of of the DZ. Sorry, but it's true. But you know, Milo might be interested. So meth belongs to Berta Bear. Yeah, well, you know, I I I will say that you know, Can and I are best friends. So that I mean, you've seen the Adventures of Sam and Canna, haven't you? Uh, well, Elena, your sign is Foxy Trump chicks everywhere. You know, I was thinking of getting a Stein, but the truth of it is, I have so many beer glasses from like actual, you know, breweries that I was like, do I really need one more? And then I looked at the price of it, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm still a poor college student, and I don't need a Stein that bad, and it's a good thing I didn't. So, well, Jeff, if it makes you feel any better, I mean, I spent $10 on a special that I still haven't watched. It's sitting in my iTunes library where I have it downloaded. I could probably pull it up on my iPad and watch it, but I'm not going to, and that's $99. That's $9.99. I'm never going to get back. Um, I mean, I suppose I could ask for a refund from Vimeo, but I doubt they would refund it to me at this point, like a month later. But let me try and zoom out of this. Let me try and zoom out because this is a pain. That's tragic, Sam. Want to buy a poster? Honestly, you know, honestly, Gabe, in all seriousness, I think I've told you this too. I I would buy a poster. Um, I really would. Uh, but you know, the thing of it is I'm not branding bear stuff anymore. So yeah, I know you're kidding. I do feel bad for you though, legitimately. So, eh, Christy wants me to take some wrenches. Well, I'm not giving wrenches away like I was. So, um, okay, okay. This is weird too. See, my camera keeps zooming in. Okay, let me let me see if I can prop this. See, every time I keep trying to prop this up, it zooms in. It's just meth Berta love coral taking wrenches. Sounds America, but they already have them. Well, you know, Chris, Christy and Jen, they get to keep their wrenches. Well, I mean, I gave Jen a wrench and she didn't even want one today. And, you know, I gave it to her anyway because because Jen's awesome. So I really should go ahead and clear out some of the wrenches though. Um, well, Jeff, you don't have a wrench, so you know you're not. You have nothing to lose anyway. You also don't have anything to gain. But although I think no, Berta, I'm not taking yours away either. As let's see. Well, I mean, I could always scroll up into the comments and start de-wrenching people too. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. I just de-wrenched Jen. So there. Are is everyone happy now? The things I do to appease the audience. Well, Jen didn't want one anyway. So yep, Jen's not. Let's see. Do you all know about Kello versus New London? No. What's what's that about? Plus, I'm an unknown. As far as you know, I spent the last weekend partying with Nimmer. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on that one, Jeff. I mean, if you were, I think your ass would be hurting right about now, right? Or his would. I'm not sure which. So, it's a Supreme Court case from 2004 about eminent domain. Anyone care to share share what, Jen? Did I miss something? I would look up what you're talking about, Alana, but I can't because if I leave this app on my iPad, uh, well, Berta, speaking of the weather, you should really come to America, buddy, and you should really come to Florida too. I mean, we have so many Canucks that are snowbirds. Here, it's not even funny. Okay. Not what I was looking for. Yeah, it's too bad there's not a. Okay. Yet there is no zoom out button on this. That's weird. I figured out how to zoom in on my face, but it won't let me zoom out. So uh, you have reach around power, and I'll overstep my bounds. Yeah, Brian, you're not gonna do any such thing, but buddy, you're you're not an attractive lady either. So I'm sorry, but you have no chance with me, Brian. You've you've got no chance. So maybe MJF does, but meh, not even him. I mean, maybe Canna, maybe, but yeah. Eyes are much better than no hairs. Well, thanks. I suppose I could zoom in super close in on my eyes, but hmm. Yeah. Don't worry, Jen. I have no idea what's going on here either. So, what app am I using? I'm using the native YouTube app, but I'm on my iPad. So, I've got darn pretty eyes. Well, thank you. Well, thank you, Berta. Usually those eyes are filled with hatred when I'm on stream. What happened to Danger Zone? Almost a week without streaming. Um, well, the DZ got itself a strike on YouTube, so they're out for 90 days. Uh, well, Berta, that's just you imagining. That's just you imagining that. Um, in reality, in re and well, I was going to make a joke about Tommy Lara, about looking at Tommy, about imagining Tommy Lahren, but no. Uh, you know, you most of you guys have heard my whole spiel on Tommy. So although Miri still wants us to get together for some reason, I have no idea why. But yeah, Tommy is. Sorry, John, if you're watching this, but I don't think Tommy is my type. Maybe she is. I don't know. But you know, I think that would be really bad if we went on a date and you know, she had to tell me her final thoughts about the date. So you're wearing Tommy. You're wearing Tommy on your shirt, Fisk. Um, I I could make a really dirty joke about that, but I'm not going to. I save I save the degeneracy for Mr. Jolly Roger. So, uh, so while you guys are looking at my eyes, I do want to make something clear. Notice that my eyes are in fact clear. They're not glossy, not one bit. I don't need glossy eyes to stream. So, okay. Ah, that's a good one. Well, even if I do keep drinking, uh, I'm still not going to have shattering teeth or anything like that. Then again, I am in Florida, so you know. I probably could get some of that stuff if I wanted to. Then again, I'm 30 years late, so maybe not. But who knows? So, alrighty. Well, any other topics? Or we've been going for about 70 minutes here. And I'm sure that there are people who want to start like a video chat or something. If you guys haven't already in the DSC, that's why I started this whole thing, is because no one had started a video chat yet in the Phantom Zone. But if someone is, then I'll jump in for sure. But no, in all seriousness, it was good to test out this he under the you know you say that about Michael Savage, but it's a lot better than his real name. If he had gone by his real name on radio, it would have been a disaster. The Michael Wiener Show, whoever would have tuned into that. I hear Eric. Well, Christy, I don't want to overstep bounds here, but you've met the man. I haven't. Um, so, you tell me. Does he buy pudding pops as well as drinks? He kind of seemed like he would, in all seriousness. What what are what are what are my thoughts on Muppets and Pirates? Uh, well, I did like the Muppets growing up. And Jolly's a pretty awesome pirate. But I don't know any other pirates. See, you guys are asking me this, and I still don't know, you know, the jokes. But Christy says, "Oh my." That's what she said once I was done. Was oh my. So if I were a pirate, would I use a Muppet for bait or crew? Um, I must be missing a joke here or something, because why why would why would Muppets be on a pirate ship to begin with? Unless it were like Muppet Pirates, which didn't they do that for one of the Muppet movies anyway? I think they did. Down at Fraggle Rock. Well, Elmo's cute and girls love to tickle him. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was some Muppet Treasure Island. Obviously. I know that the Muppets made a cameo in American Werewolf in London. American Werewolf in London was also the first time that I accidentally saw porn when I was in 6th grade too. Yeah. For those of you who don't remember, there's that scene um, in the porno theater at the end of American Werewolf in London, Uh, and so when I was like in middle school, uh, and early part of elementary school, my friends and I had a tradition where on Halloween we would all get together and watch like a scary movie. And that year we picked American Werewolf in London. And my mom had forgotten about the porno theater scene. So, you know, about towards the end of the film, in American Werewolf in London, it was right after the Muppet cameo scene too. That's why I remember those. Uh, and now I look back at that and I laugh. But you know, it also shows how inexperienced I am because they used to have movie theaters for porn. And then I found out about the whole, you know, uh, Pee Wee Herman incidents too. So, more than a tickle. Alyssa, just for that comment, welcome to the mods. So, yeah, this stream has gone all over the place too. We've talked about everything tonight, haven't we? Let's. But yeah, I will be in the DZ. Brian, I can't hold your beer. I'm drinking one of my own. So sorry, Bucko. By the way, that was a really bad cover of Carry On Wayward Son. Speaking of Buckos, I don't think Jordan Peterson would be amused. Not even that, but Jordan Peterson does not seem like the type of guy who would listen to classic rock. I mean, I'm not as much of a fan of Jordan Peterson as some of you guys are. I don't dislike him, but Jordan Peterson to me, I think he's a smart guy. There's no denying that. But he seems to be more like a classical guy. Like he seems to be that guy who would only listen to classical music. So yeah. So I think the Carry On Wayward Son thing would be lost on him. Oh, but what if the song were Carrying On My Wayward Muppet? That would be funny. Hmm. Great. Now I'm going to now I'm going to have Muppets on the brain. Now I'm going to have to go on Netflix and watch the Muppets movie, and it's all going to be your fault, Brian. I hope you're happy. I hope you're. Well, that's true. That's true, Gabe. I don't think they ever had black Muppets. I mean, they had Muppets of different species. Well, then again, it was the late '60s, early '70s when Hanson created all that. So. Oh, Elena, you mean this tune? Show your face based. Show your face based. You've got to show me your face based. Yeah, I can get that song stuck in your head too. John makes it so catchy. Although I'm a little mad at John. Well, I'm not mad at him, but disappointed because I asked John to do one thing on his stream last night. One thing. And I know he probably saw my comment because he was reading off a whole lot of them, but I asked him to serenade. I asked him to serenade Domi on stream. I know that he was daring her to sing and wanting her, so he should serenade his wife on stream or his fiance. Sorry, I keep forgetting they're not married, and I would just love to see her reaction. So, I don't. I don't have Smurfs in my mouth, Brian. Okay, the chat has gone way out of hand. There is that meme of the baby who says, "Bring me more Smurfs." Anyway. Oh, Brian, that's not disturbing at all. Uh, no, I've always said, screw the one you love. In a good way, though. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing you can do is screw them and then make them your, you know, part of your campaign team and go on to take over America. Oops, I divulged my secret plan with the Trump babes. So, yeah, sorry about that. No, what I really wanted to do, af, what I really wanted to do was take over the Playboy Mansion and just turn it into like a MAGA palace or something like that. Oh, I bet Christie would kill people if they went near her horses. Yeah. Well, I mean that had to be awkward for Hef at the end too, because I know that Hef was a Democrat, right? But then I also know that he was friends with Trump, and you know what was funny was the week when Hef died, Milo Milo wrote like a huge piece on his website about how awesome Hugh Hefner was and how he was a capitalist and an American entrepreneur, all of which is true. And how, I guess, in some way, I guess Hef inspired the new wave of the MAGA conservatives, which I still don't really get how, but okay. That was Milo's thesis. Ben Shapiro, on the other hand, like wrote, a column about how bad Hef was, and how like evil he was, quote unquote. Which, you know, even if you don't agree with what Hef did, I think evil is a bit of a strong word. Then I reserve the word evil for people who are truly evil. So yeah, so that's the other thing. Like I said earlier in the stream, Anthony Bourdain, just because he was a liberal, wasn't evil either. And I mean, I used to fall into that trap too, where I would say that liberals were stupid and whatnot, and I thought that some of them were evil, but no, I mean, I really try to stay away from that. I don't, now that I'm older, I really try and use that term for people who truly are evil. I think Obama was inept. Uh, I oh, I think that Hillary may have been evil, but may have is a big difference between just saying outright. But anyway, well, we've been going for 85 minutes, and let's see. All bears are gay. Change my mind. Well, as my gay conservative friends have all told me, Brian, I invited a couple of them to the Bears. True story. And they said that they didn't want to because I guess the term bear means something entirely different from what the unbearables meant. Um, so, oh, nah, women. Well, some women scare me, but the ones we have here in the danger zone. I mean, Christy can be scared when she wants to be, but let's be honest. Christy is also nice most of the time, and so is Jen, and so is Bisk, and so is Alyssa, and so is Kimmy, and so is Katrina, and so is Amethyst, who I also miss. Haven't seen her in a long time. Uh, who is Jen?
Dude. Jen the Wonder Woman. So, hmm. All right. Well, I think at this point I'm going to, you know, call it a night for the stream. I'll probably jump into these into the danger zone. But to borrow a phrase from my good friend John Neary, if it ain't broke, it might work better. Godfrey Legacy in that order. And also, to borrow a phrase of my own, uh, God, good night, God bless, and God save this great nation. You've been watching After Hours with Sam Whitfield here on the Whitfield Report, and thank you for watching. And I'll see you tomorrow at some point for another live stream. This was fun. We'll be back again. God bless, and God save this great nation.